Hello and welcome everyone to the latest episode of Autocar Quick News, where we round up the biggest launches, unveils, and industry news from the week gone by. But before we begin, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated on all of our latest videos. There's so much to cover this week, but let's start with the biggest launch in the last 5 days. Hyundai has finally introduced the new generation i20 at an introductory starting price of Rs 6.8 lakh. After a fairly long wait, the new Hyundai i20 has been launched in India. The India spec model is largely identical to the model sold abroad in terms of design and is available with a variety of engine and gearbox combinations. There are 3 engines to choose from: a 1.2-litre petrol, a 120 horsepower 1-litre turbo-petrol, and a 100 horsepower 1.5-litre diesel. The 1.2 petrol can be had with either a 5-speed manual or a CVT automatic. The turbo gets a choice of an IMT or a 7-speed DCT, and the diesel is available only with a 6-speed manual. In top-spec Asta O trim, the i20 is loaded to the brim with features. It gets a 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Hyundai's BlueLink connected car features, a digital instrument readout, a 7-speaker Bose sound system, a sunroof, wireless phone charging, and ambient lighting. Safety-wise, the new i20 comes with 6 airbags, ABS, electronic stability control, and vehicle stability management. Here's a look at the variant-wise prices, which go all the way up to Rs 11,18,000 for the fully loaded turbo DCT version, and are valid only till the end of 2020. For more information on the new i20, make sure you check out our first look video. The arrival of the new i20 signals greater competition in the premium hatchback segment, and in response, Tata Motors is readying a turbo-petrol version of the Altroz. The 1.2-litre turbo-petrol engine in the Altroz will be a little less powerful than the one in the facelifted Nexon and is expected to produce 110 horsepower and 140 Nm of torque. At launch, the Altroz Turbo will likely only be offered with a 5-speed manual gearbox, but a dual-clutch automatic is in the works and is expected to join the range in the future. Sources say the Altroz Turbo will weigh around 980 kilos, which means you can expect sprightly performance. The Altroz Turbo is expected to be made available in the top 2 or 3 variants only, and prices are expected to be announced later this month. What Tata Motors has launched this week is a Camo edition of the Harrier. While it gets no mechanical changes, it sports a camo green paint job, blacked out exterior elements, 17-inch blackstone alloys, camo decals, and an all-black interior. Extras like a camo-themed backseat organizer, camo graphics, and front parking sensors are available with 2 accessory packages, Stealth and Stealth Plus. Prices for the Harrier Camo are on par with the Harrier Dark Edition, with the range starting at Rs 16.5 lakh and going all the way up to Rs 20.3 lakh. In related news, 3 years on from its launch, Tata Motors has rolled out the 150,000th unit of the Nexon. Tata's compact SUV crossed the 50,000 unit production milestone in September 2018, the 100,000 unit production mark in September 2019, and Tata says the Nexon notched up its highest ever sales last month with over 6,800 units sold. This week witnessed the arrival of 2 high-performance SUVs. Let's begin with the BMW X3 M, which was launched at a price of Rs 99.9 lakh. This is the first time ever that BMW has made a full-blown M version of the X3 SUV. In addition to a more aggressive exterior, the X3 M packs a 3-litre turbocharged inline-6 that produces 480 horsepower and 600 Nm of torque. BMW says the X3 M will do 0 to 100 km an hour in 4.2 seconds and go on to hit an electronically limited top speed of 250 kph. An 8-speed automatic directs power to all 4 wheels via a rear-biased all-wheel drive system. Those keen on getting their hands on the even more powerful X3 M competition will have to wait a little, as the company has only introduced the standard X3 M for now. Following hot on the heels of the X3 M was Mercedes-Benz's updated AMG GLC 43 Coupe, which is also the first AMG to be assembled in India. The Mercedes-AMG GLC 43 Coupe facelift has been launched in India at a price of Rs 76,70,000. It is the first AMG model to be assembled at Mercedes' Chakan plant, and local assembly has helped Mercedes keep its price in check by a fair degree. It gets a number of changes on the outside that help differentiate it from the pre-facelift model, including a new grille, tweaked bumpers, and new 20-inch alloy wheels. It also gets Mercedes' MBUX infotainment system and a Burmester audio system as standard, but the highlight is what lies under its hood. The 3-litre twin-turbo V6 petrol now makes more power, churning out 390 horsepower and 520 Nm of torque. The claimed 0 to 100 km/h time is rated at 4.9 seconds, with top speed pegged at 250 kph. Power is sent to all four wheels via a 9-speed automatic gearbox and a rear-biased all-wheel drive system. While we all got to see the Nissan Magnite in production form a few weeks ago, at that time Nissan hadn't shared any specifications of its new compact SUV. Well, we now have all the details of the Magnite, including its dimensions, curb weight, power outputs, and fuel efficiency. The Nissan Magnite measures 3,998mm in length, 1,758mm in width, and 1,572mm in height, with a wheelbase of 2,500mm. It isn't as wide or as tall as other compact SUVs, but matches rivals such as the Hyundai Venue, Kia Sonet, Tata Nexon, and Maruti Vitara Brezza on the wheelbase front. The Magnite will be among the lightest compact SUVs on sale in India, with its curb weight ranging from 939 kg to 1039 kg. The naturally aspirated petrol engine in the Magnite makes 72 horsepower and 96 Nm of torque and will only be available with a 5-speed manual. The 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo-petrol engine, paired with a 5-speed manual, makes 100 horsepower and 160 Nm of torque, and although those numbers aren't class-leading, combined with the lightweight, it should make for sprightly performance. The Magnite Turbo will also be available with a CVT automatic, a variant that has an ARAI certified fuel efficiency figure of 17.7 kpl. The naturally aspirated 1-litre petrol has a claimed economy figure of 18.75 kpl, and it is the turbo manual version that sits top of the pile in this department with a fuel efficiency figure of 20 kpl. The Magnite will be available in a total of 4 trim levels, and prices are expected to be announced later in November, with deliveries set to commence mid-December. Previously expected to be launched sometime this year, the turbo-petrol version of the 7-seat Renault Triber will now only arrive sometime in 2021. Here's why. The delay in the launch of the Triber turbo-petrol is due to Renault wanting to launch the new engine in a brand new product, which is its upcoming Kiger compact SUV, instead of in one of its existing models. From a marketing standpoint, Renault thinks it is better to position the new engine as the Kiger's unit that's also offered in the Triber and not the other way around. The 1-litre turbo-petrol unit, codenamed HR10, is sourced from alliance partner Nissan, which is debuting this engine in the Magnite compact SUV. With demand for the new Thar exceeding Mahindra's expectations, the company has announced it is now ramping up production of the new Gen 4x4 to prevent lengthy waiting periods. Since its launch early in October, the new Mahindra Thar has amassed over 20,000 bookings, and this tremendous response has resulted in waiting periods ranging from 5 to 7 months, depending on the variant. In order to meet demand and prevent any further lengthening of waiting periods, Mahindra has announced it is ramping up production of the new Thar from 2,000 units a month to 3,000 units a month by January 2021. India received its first luxury EV in the form of the Mercedes-Benz EQC this year and will soon see another luxury car maker enter the EV fray. Jaguar has opened bookings for the all-electric I-Pace ahead of its launch next year. Jaguar is offering 3 variants of the I-Pace SUV in India: the base S, mid-spec SE, and top-spec HSE. Central to the I-Pace is a 90 kWh lithium-ion battery and 2 electric motors generating a combined 400 horsepower. 0 to 100 km/h takes a claimed 4.8 seconds, and range is pegged at 470 km on the WLTP cycle. In an effort to curb range anxiety, Jaguar has partnered with Tata Power to provide home and office charging solutions to I-Pace buyers, and a complimentary 7.4 kW AC wall-mounted charger will be provided with the car. I-Pace owners will also be able to access over 200 Tata Power charging stations across 23 cities. India deliveries of the I-Pace are set to begin in March 2021. MG launched the Gloster early in October at a starting price of Rs 28.98 lakh, but now with the introductory offer ending, MG has hiked prices of its flagship SUV by as much as Rs 1 lakh. The Gloster's launch prices were only valid for the first 2,000 customers or till October 31, and MG says it has since received over 2,000 bookings for its flagship SUV. It's the entry-level Super 4x2 variant that sees the biggest jump in price. Launched at Rs 28.98 lakh, it's now priced at Rs 29.98 lakh, a full Rs 1 lakh more. The second biggest price hike is for the Smart 4x2, which at Rs 31.48 lakh is pricier by Rs 50,000. Both 6 and 7-seat versions of the Sharp 4x4 have seen their prices rise by Rs 30,000, while the smallest price hike is for the range-topping Savvy, which at Rs 35.58 lakh costs Rs 20,000 more than it did at launch. Sources say that of the 5 versions on offer, it's the higher spec trims that are attracting maximum customers, with the Sharp and fully loaded Savvy 4x4 making up over 90% of all Gloster bookings. The SUV is sold out for 2020 and deliveries for fresh bookings will likely only commence in 2021. We open this week's two-wheeler section with news of the launch of a new motorcycle which many of you have been waiting for. Yes, it's the Royal Enfield Meteor 350, the first model based on Royal Enfield's all-new 350cc platform. Royal Enfield has launched the Meteor 350 with prices starting at Rs 1,76,000. The Meteor is the first all-new 350cc motorcycle from Royal Enfield in a decade and replaces the Thunderbird and Thunderbird X. The Meteor's wheelbase is 1400mm long, while the ground clearance is a decent 170mm. But the most notable improvement is with the curb weight, which at 191 kilos makes the Meteor 6 kilos lighter than the bike it replaces. At the heart of the Meteor is a newly developed 349cc fuel-injected single-cylinder engine that produces 20.2 horsepower and 27 Nm of torque. Royal Enfield has incorporated a new semi-digital instrument cluster along with a separate pod for a color TFT display. Royal Enfield calls it the Tripper screen, and it has Bluetooth connectivity and displays turn-by-turn navigation via Google Maps data. The Meteor 350 will be available in 3 variants: Fireball, Stellar and Supernova. The base Fireball variant is only available in solid colors, while the mid-spec Stellar variant, priced at Rs 1,81,000, gets metallic paint options and a pillion backrest. The top-spec Supernova variant, which is priced at Rs 1,91,000, gets dual-tone metallic paint schemes, a windscreen and tan seats as well. Having launched the updated Apache RTR 200 late last year, TVS has now rolled out yet another update for its 200cc motorcycle, which brings some key new features for a marginal hike in price. The most important addition on the updated RTR 200 are the 3 ride modes: Sport, Urban and Rain. These modes alter power and ABS functionality to suit the riding conditions. Also new to the Apache 200 are a preload adjustable fork and adjustable clutch and brake levers. TVS claims the updated Apache 200 is lighter by 1 kg and it is priced at Rs 1,31,000, which is just Rs 1,000 more than the standard dual-channel ABS variant. In more TVS news, the TVS Zepplin Power Cruiser may be one step closer to reality as the company has recently registered the Zepplin R name. The Zepplin concept was showcased at Auto Expo 2020 and had a number of unique elements, chief among which was a mild hybrid system with an e-boost function, an upside-down fork, belt drive and a 220cc single-cylinder engine making 20 horsepower. TVS has no heritage with pure retro-style motorcycles, and the R in the recently registered name suggests that the Zepplin too might have a sporty flavor. For Ducati, this week has been all about Multistradas. Let's start with the one that has arrived in India, the Multistrada 950S, which was launched earlier this week. The Ducati Multistrada 950S has been launched in India at Rs 15.49 lakh. Available in our market in Ducati Red only, the Multistrada 950S is powered by a 937cc Testa Stretta L twin engine making 113 horsepower and 96 Nm of torque, paired with a 6-speed gearbox. It also gets 4 ride modes, Ducati's Skyhook Evo semi-active suspension, traction control, a bi-directional quick shifter, cornering ABS and cornering lights. India deliveries of the Multistrada 950S are set to commence in the second week of November. For those keen on crossing continents on a Multistrada, Ducati has unveiled the Multistrada V4, and if you think the new engine is the only real talking point with it, well, you're in for a surprise. One of the biggest talking points with the Multistrada V4 is the technology it's packing. The Multistrada V4 is the world's first production motorcycle to feature front and rear radar, which enables it to have adaptive cruise control and blind spot detection. It also breaks away from tradition, swapping the signature steel trellis frame for an aluminium monocoque frame, and spring valves replace desmodromic valves, which means the gap between valve check intervals is now 60,000 kilometers. Its 1158cc Gran Turismo V4 engine puts out 170 horsepower and 125 Nm of torque, and also features cylinder deactivation technology. It also gets Ducati's Skyhook semi-active suspension with auto leveling, a height adjustable seat, a 19-inch front wheel and a 6.5-inch TFT color display. The Multistrada V4 is expected to be launched in India sometime next year. And that's a wrap for this week's Autocar Quick News. As always, don't forget to tell us what your highlight of this week was, what you think of the new i20's pricing, what are your expectations from the Tata Altroz Turbo, and of course what you think of this video. Like it, share it with your friends and family. We'll see you here again next week.